Neighborhood Watch presents For the Record, live at Ill Remedy Studios. I'm the host, Fresh Raheem. We got Roz on the ones and the twos. We got motherfucking Monz Army in the house. What's up, dog?
What up, what up, what up?
How's everything with you, sir?
I don't even know, man. I just woke up from a blackout. I don't know where the fuck I'm at right now.
I believe that.
Nah, just kidding.
Knowing you, I believe that. You got your glasses, you got your hair. What's going on?
Hey, everything's going on all around me at all times. It's all going down.
All right, for people that do not know, explain your name to them and how you thought of that and when you thought of that.
Pretty much started like, I want to say maybe 7 years ago. Started all with graffiti. I used to write Monza 1, M-O-N-Z-A, and I just added the whole army thing to it because of like Army of Styles, you know, infinite infantry. So that's where that name derives from and shit.
What about the graffiti, man? What was your approach to that, and how'd you find yourself running around the streets painting on things?
Shit, man, just, you know, stuff I was going through personally, and I've always been artistically inclined, so... Artistically inclined. So, but, you know, I always had homies b-boying, graphing, rapping, all that shit, and, you know, I kind of got clinged to the whole graph, you know, and then just went from there, man.
Tell us some crazy or fun stories running the streets, man.
Shit, man, this one time we hit the freeway on a 10, and we're on foot, me and my boy Dissect. Shout out to my boy Dissect 1. We're walking back home. We're on the street. We're on Vincent. And there's a fucking cop is just like lurking. And we have a backpack full of cans, may I add. And then my homeboy is just looking at the cop, and he's just like, fuck, this was bugging me out, man. And he looks at the cop, and he's like, what do you want? And he's like, where you guys going, man? Where you guys going? He's like, we're going home, dude. We live right there in those apartments. He's like, all right, then get home safe. And he just fucking dips out, bro. Backpack full of cans, man. I was like, dude.
Your fingers are all red and blue and shit, and you're like, ugh,
burnt.
Hands in the pocket.
Burnt, bro. We had everything in that backpack, too. It was crazy. Would have been busted for sure.
How serious were you with the graph?
I was pretty serious at a point. Like, maybe in high school was, like, really, like, going full throttle, like, hitting freeways on the 10. Like, here in like, 626, too. Like, I was everywhere, though, you know? Anytime I got an opportunity to get out, I would take advantage of that opportunity, you know?
I really noticed with a lot of, like, your art and the stuff you do, you have a real good eye for art. Does that come before the graffiti, or was that always, like, a part of your...
Definitely before the graffiti. Definitely. So I just kind of, like, you know, already knew what I was capable of. Once I started kind of clicking up with fools and decided I was going to be a graffiti writer, that's when I just tapped my skill into to infiltrate what I was going to do, you know?
And what was it that moved you over to getting on the mic and expressing yourself that way?
Shit, man. I always wanted to be a fucking rock star, you know?
You look like one, sir.
Thank you. I'm a hip-hop style motherfucker. Nah, but pretty much that. I always knew that I was going to end up doing some music some way, somehow. So, like, I wanted to get maybe, like the art out of the way before I did so. So it worked out. You know, I was in the band before, too, and all that shit. So
Talk about that. Play any instruments, or were you the singer?
I was vocals. I was trying playing drums for a while, but dude, it was too crazy. But vocals definitely worked out for me in the band. We had a little Rage Against the Machine kind of style going on.
I could see that.
Yeah, a little dash of reggae up in that motherfucker. So it was dope, man.
What happened with that? It moved the way it.
Yeah, our drummer basically fucking his parents split up. That fool dipped out to another school. We lost contact with him. Then our guitarist, he became an EDM DJ, and now he's all fucking famous, and he's all around the world.
Didn't you did some vocals with him, huh? That kind of went somewhere kind of big, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Talk about that a little bit.
I was going by the alias of Tarantula Man, because at the time I had dreadlocks and shit.
That fits too.
Yeah, so I was doing that, and we recorded this song called Big Fat by Tonic, what the alias he was going by at the time. And I know he was just doing like local shows, like little hole-in-the-wall bars here and there, and then he just clicked up with an entertainment fucking group, and dude, they blew up, man.
That's dope, man. You're talking about doing local shows. What does the 626 mean to you in the sense of being an MC from a place that has a lot of MCs come out of?
A lot of potential, man. What it means to me is like my own, fuck, dog. I would say my own underground layer, dog. No one really comes over here on this side anymore, really, unless there's some neighborhood watch activity going on. You know what I mean? So I like to call it like my own little Transylvania, you know what I'm saying? Like at the top of the hill, creepy little fucking house no one wants to go to, you know?
All right, let's keep it local a little bit, and then we'll go a little bit broader. But any people you heard coming up from here that kind of inspired you, or was it always like, I could fit in with these guys and I'm gonna do it?
not to float my own boat or anything, but yeah, it was always kind of more like, hey, I feel like I could fit in with these guys and shit. Like I need to show them what I can do, you know. But it was always the hard part was always getting my voice in front of those gentlemen. You know what I mean? It was always hard, but eventually it unfolded the way it needed to. So
yeah, good talent always shines, right?
Man, definitely.
What about other inspirations to like? How would you define your style? Let's go with that first.
Honestly, I would say abstract.
That's it, just
all over the place, everywhere. I can tap into anything. I can talk about anything. I can do it all.
Okay, I like that. You're like an X-Men and shit.
Yes.
Your mutant power is abstract.
Nah, I can adjust.
What are
climatize?
Well, going from that, so your style's abstract. Now, what are some of the inspirations you got from cats that you have heard?
Like what, locally or anywhere?
I would say, yeah. Let's go bigger. Like, let's say music in general. I mean, it doesn't have to be strictly hip hop.
Big influence on me I'll have to say, The Doors for sure.
Ooh,
The Doors. A lot of reggae music for sure. That was like probably like the first thing I ever listened to. A lot of rock star bands, dude. I'm telling you, like that's my fucking go-to right there.
That's crazy because when you hear your style, you wouldn't really pull that. Maybe The Doors, because you are a deep thinker in that sense, and you kind of go deeper into a subject than most people may. They stay on the surface. But what about hip hop wise? What MCs kind of inspired you to?
Shit, man, I got a list.
Well,
give
us a few.
I would say Idea and Abilities for sure. Deltron, the Funky Homo Sapien.
I could really see that.
MF Doom. Shit, man. Who else, man?
Let's stick with Doom for a second.
Eeh.
What from Doom like you gravitate to?
You know what got me? The whole mask.
It's fucking awesome, isn't it?
The whole question behind the mask, you know? Because at a point I wanted to fucking paint my face and like come onto the hip hop scene and just do some weirdo shit, like no one knowing my alias, you know what I mean? But God, I kind of thought that was a little too much, you know. But that's what I kind of.
You thought something was too much.
Yeah, you know, painting my face and like, like everybody's gonna fucking know who I am.
Yeah,
you know?
it almost turns towards gimmicky.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what, dude? Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Then I, figured out the whole background story behind all that. So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Not yet, at least.
That's dope. All right, let's get back to like, let's talk about your music. You put out a project recently. No, actually, it's about almost a year anniversary to the day.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that and tell the name Gnostic Odyssey.
Gnostic Odyssey. Basically, what Gnostic Odyssey is the whole expansion of consciousness, pretty much, And that was the message I was trying to, just send out to everybody with this project.
That is awesome.
Yeah, expansion of consciousness and the whole journey to expanding your consciousness, and opening your mind and shit.
And with that, we're gonna get into the first track. It's called Loops and Times. Can you tell us how you thought of the title and who produced it?
Weapon of the Masses produced that one.
I know those guys.
Mr. Edward. And the whole fucking background on that, it's just like I'm real into like time travel, Donnie Darko, shit like that.
Enough said.
Yeah, dude. So I wanted to just like bring that to the music surface, bring that to the surface, and like what I'm knowledgeable in with that, and my own experiences too. So it's like, basically the song is about like what would happen to me if I was a time traveler. I would get fucking fucked and get stuck in space-time continuum, fucked up, just loops of time just happening over and over, for all eternity.
Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Neighborhood Watch presents, For the Record, live at Ill Remedy Studios, Loops of Time.
By the chanted choruses that led to the heart of a territory, said it's where embodiments of sacred stories rest. Tampered with the force that shouldn't be reckoned with. Yo, as I gasped for breath, I was captured then. A walk locked up in a fortress. Vengeance was a sentence, death I lost. Skeleton key up in the heart of a sorceress. Once exhausted, love is forgotten, it shall be reopened. No longer belong to invoke his focus to stretching. Where I've been, forging my weapons. Reveal no remorse through expression. Entered war with the morgue as my rest place. Piercing holes through armored chest plates. Watching soul soar to a seeming of another time and space. Aware of every move that can be made. Through a lead course towards decay. Trust your instincts. Bored on a fast forward escape. Crush the road if it's against me. Lord, if this is your form of ending days, my tank's already running on empty. As the hands rewound light years on the chronological gauge, trapped in reoccurring loops of time, inhabited by our solar wind shock wave, there's no escape. It's what hypothesis displays. As the hands rewound light years on the chronological gauge, trapped in reoccurring loops of time, inhabited by our solar wind shock wave, there's no escape. It's what hypothesis displays. Verbal divergence causes temporal disturbance, draining seasonal endurance. Areas urban or suburban, knocking navigations out of services. If I indict, don't displace my body and mind. Universes parallel can intercept in the infinite clash of massive energies. Can bash pad dimensions to oblivion, missing incomplete obsidian. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in a somatic matter shuttle, built in systematic anti-rebuttal. Teleported to a vacant land where nomads discovered ancient nomads are humbled. I am dazed in a format that stumbles across the vast distances of our outer reaches. As war pillages the quietest regions. As war pillages the quietest regions. Gravitational collapse will redefine its thesis, and new torn images won't define what peace is. Yo, let's take a little ride through space and time. As the hands rewound light years on the chronological gauge, trapped in reoccurring loops of time, inhabited by our solar wind shock wave, there's no escape. It's what hypothesis displays. As the hands rewound light years on the chronological gauge, trapped in reoccurring loops of time, inhabited by our solar wind shock wave, there's no escape. It's what hypothesis displays.
Neighborhood Watch presents, For the Record. We live at Ill Remedy Studios. That shit was fucking crazy.
Thanks, brother.
Time travel.
Sir.
Explain it.
Can't.
You've done it.
I can't. I've only done it spiritually and in dreams.
Talk about you went really like visual with it, with like what you're going through. How did you come up with that type of concept?
Just fucking started writing, barring out, and just seeing where I can, like, what trippy fucking places I can take this to, you know? Fucking added some sorceress shit in there, fortress shit in there, you know what I mean? Just piled up a bunch of fucking shit that I could have found myself traveling to, you know?
Where does that inspiration come from? Because that's what I want to get, because you're talking about stuff.
A lot of research, bro. A lot of research. I do a lot of reading.
Okay.
Fucking,
like what?
Well, just research, just like online, you know, shit that I want to look up, just shit like that.
Talking about some books, maybe. What
books
you could recommend to people out there that?
Well, there's this Mayan book I read, just like on the Mayan people. So it's a Mayan book I read. It's literally called Maya. So you can check that shit out. I forgot who wrote it, but it's a fucking thick ass book. And I read a lot of fucking thesauruses, a lot of dictionaries.
You know you're real when you're like, that book was thick, so that shit had a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Like, too much to fucking hold up here. It was like crazy, but
yeah, you take what you like and then you utilize it. You know what I'm saying?
Utilize it, exactly. Incorporate it. You know.
With you had Ed on the beat.
Yes, sir.
How was it working with Weapons of the Masses, Ed in general? How was that?
Well, Ed shot me a batch of beats just because he liked my performance and like he just fucks with me, and he gave me a batch of beats. Give me like 3 or 4. And that was probably the only beat that I used on this album. Mm-hmm. But I still have all the other beats I want to use on other projects. And also there's another beat that he shot that me and Poco are on. That's the Gruesome Twosome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ed's an easy dude to work with. If you give half effort, he fucking likes it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's his production.
Definitely.
You went really, really like beyond on that one.
I felt like I owed it to him.
Yeah.
You know?
How was his response to it?
He loved it. I was like, cool. Like that was exactly
what I need.
That's it. That's all I need. Yeah, exactly. And that's.
You were talking about the Gruesome Twosome. Explain what that is exactly.
The Gruesome Twosome is pretty much the indelible dyad, which is me and Polka One.
Whoop whoop.
Yep. So we've been performing with each other for a while. You know, probably I don't know since when, but forever. You know.
You guys kind of know each other a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Oh, we know each other pretty well, quite well. But yeah, man. You know, we finally just got serious and we're like, yo, man, we just need to fucking put a title up on this, not just Monz Army and Polka One. And, you know, the whole and started fucking with us. Like, oh, why is Polka first? Why is Monz Army first? Like, fuck that. Change that shit real quick. Like,
yeah, don't listen to people anyway. That's just other talk. But how is it working on stage with someone that you go home to and see?
Dude, honestly, fuck, man. It's really dope on stage. I wish that I lived my whole life on a stage, you know, just because of the energy we we both bring when we unite, you know. But shit gets hectic, man. But we really
The life part?
Yeah, life part, you know. But we release that tension, you know, once we get up on a stage and just fucking damage.
And how was your guys' like process in the studio? How do you guys create these songs together? How does that work? We want to know. She tells you exactly what to do?
She's like, yeah, motherfucker.
Or that's outside the studio?
Only outside the studio. I tell her what to do in the stew, bro. Nah, but we just, you know,
Just
write,
feed off each other?
feed off each other. We write together, feed off each other. If there's a beat that she thinks we'll both fucking execute pretty well, then she'll bring it to the light and we'll go from there.
And in the sense 50-50 on ideas? Too?
Yeah, pretty
Because she
much.
holds her own on the mic. She's
Yeah, no
dope.
doubt, no
Polka's
doubt.
super dope. And I don't know if we need to get that out right there. What's up, Polka?
No
again?
doubt. What's up, Polka? Shout out. But yeah, man, it's all depending on the situation, you know. It's like if she gets a beat from a certain producer that's digging her shit and she can see us both on it, then I'll be like, well, you come up with a concept since it's pretty much the more short, you know, you were the one that came up on the beat, you know. So that's how we work. It's pretty fair when we come to connecting and like collabing on our work, you know.
That's dope. That's dope. You got some other groups that you fuck with. So let's talk a little bit about the Gremlins.
Yeah, the Gremlins. It consists of my boy Dialecture, Sake, and Ewok. There's a couple other members as well, but they're not on this first album. They're on the second album. We'll be releasing like way later and talking about that way later. But we're working on an album which is pretty much finished. I think it's only the engineering part that needs to get done. And it's called The Boom Baptist Church. Consists of 14 tracks, and we'll be dropping that next year sometime really, really soon, though.
Nice. How was it working with these dudes?
Dude, fun as hell, man. Like, probably one of the funniest experiences I ever had, like, just working in the studio. So, definite fucking dope music. Like,
No, I believe it. I've heard a little bit of it. You guys released a track like on SoundCloud recently.
so we released 3 singles so far.
And it wasn't trap, and it was on SoundCloud. That's so dope. When we hear good shit.
Yup.
Keep moving forward. You got another group that they're not really too saying their name too loud, but when you're at shows, you hear them. What's up with Council of 9 project?
Council of 9. Well, it's under construction right now. I still need to lace like 3 more verses up. Last I spoke to Stranger Danger. Shout out Stranger Danger.
How's
Blackton
working with
Society.
him? How's working with him?
Working with him is real cool, real professional too. You know, real like you know when you can fuck around and know where you need to be serious and shit.
He'll.
But I like that though.
He'll keep you on
No
on
doubt.
track.
Definitely, I like that though because
Speaking
you know
about tracks, we got this next one up. You
Let's
know
do
the
it.
name and I don't. What is it?
Analects and Poems.
I knew it, but I couldn't say it because you write with your left hand backwards.
Def.
Neighborhood Watch presents, for the record, live at Ill Remedy Studios, What He Just Said and Poem.
Who can touch the righteous path I'm on? My words were widespread like a pantheon. After death, manifest through Analects and Poems. After death, manifest through Analects and Poems. Dropping foes from poison daggers, my approach is danger. Sunken boats with their own ocean anchors. Crawling like a centipede on all lines and symmetry. No double cross and pro-anglers. Just as those above average of chosen stature who killed at will and shielded battle. Late post-classic madness will corner you a wounded cattle. Salute fellow ruthless vandals, hitting roofs at ninja angles. Who can touch the righteous path I'm on? My words were widespread like a pantheon. After death, manifest through Analects and Poems. After death, manifest through Analects and Poems. Avenger on the loose, recovering truths that were blown away. Like a wish off a birthday candle, unfold in Theoma key. Overthrow the king and disown the key. Too blown to think, too bold to oversee. Sell your soul to be controlled by puppetry. Stay afloat as the starving sea start to feast. Stay afloat as the starving sea start to feast. Who can touch the righteous path I'm on? My words were widespread like a pantheon. After death, manifest through Analects and Poems. After death, manifest through Analects and Poems.
Neighborhood Watch presents, for the record, we live at Ill Remedy Studios. We represent hip hop, brother. That was dope.
Thank you.
You say the name again one more time?
Analects and Poems.
What is that song about, sir?
That song is about writings. Well, Analect means is a collection of writing, you know. So, and basically it was
Nice word.
to kind of influence, you know, any artist out there that don't think that they're capable of whatever the fuck they really truly are capable of all the way through.
Inspire.
Inspire, yeah, exactly. And basically how you can immortalize yourself from your mortal bonds, you know what I mean, through your art form, you know? So that's what that song's about pretty much.
That's dope. Who's on the production of that?
The production is my brother Freely Speaking. Shout out to my boy Freely.
How'd you meet Homeboy?
Met him at a Pomona show, actually.
Just running around.
Yeah,
to the
just
hip-hop
running around
shit.
doing my thing, networking and shit. And he dug the style, and we went from there pretty much.
And was that on your last project, or is
Yes.
that's on your last project?
Sure.
Tell us a little bit more about that and how it was received.
This song was made at his house, actually, in Pomona. And we're like binging on a 2-day drinking binge, and we ended up at his house in the morning, and then he just played a bunch of beats. I was originally gonna do some Spanish stuff to this beat, and I was like, you know what, man, fuck all that. Let me rewrite this whole thing, and let me come at it correctly. So we just kept progressing, you know, on the same beat.
That's dope. I was gonna bring that up, and you just mentioned it. Rhyming in Spanish, and you do it pretty frequently throughout your projects and through your tracks. How does that work?
Well, for me, I'm gonna let y'all on a little secret, Monz. I'll write something in English and then I'll just translate it. You know, it's like when you go to sleep, man, you dream. Do you dream in English? Do you dream in an accent? Do you dream, you know what I mean? Like something like that. So I don't really fucking think, I can't think in Spanish in my head. Like I can't just come out with some dope shit in Spanish. I gotta do it in English and then convert it, you know what I mean?
And is there a certain reason why, or just to keep being abstract and pushing envelopes?
Well, so I can, you know, get the best of both worlds, get a little bit of my, you know, my Spanish side out there, a little bit of my English side out there, you know what I mean? A little more variety, not just fucking full on English bars, and you know what I mean?
I like the way you approach it, especially with your style. It totally it throws you for a loop in a sense, and you're like, okay, now I gotta pay attention deeper, because the shit you're saying is definitely deeper thinking. You really have to. You can't just like listen to like yeah.
Exactly.
You actually gotta analyze what's going on.
That's why I like
in the
my
story
little.
you're telling.
That's why I like my little saying is, you know, turning base metal minds into gold. You know, basically, you listen to the whole Gnostic Odyssey, you're no longer thinking on an average mind frequency. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I know you got a new album coming up. Tell us a little bit about that and where we could also find your music.
You can find my music on SoundCloud and on YouTube. Just type in Monz Army, MONZARMY. And the new project coming out is with me and Polka, the Gruesome Twosome, and the album title is called Graveyard Symphonies.
Ooh.
Yeah, we haven't really made a for sure drop date on it yet, but we're aiming for April.
And you also record yourself too, like, right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that real fast before we get into your last track. You're gonna just throw some bars on us and end us off real cool with that. But talk about
pretty much. It was always hard for me to record my music and kind of like move forward with this career, this craft. You know what I mean? So I just got a lot of money, ran into some money with my job, and invested in myself. You know, got all the gear, got all the equipment I needed to get, set it up in my house, in my place, wherever I was staying at the current time. And Gnostic Odyssey was what I recorded in that studio. And I mixed it, I mastered it to the best of my ability. And that's what I bring to you now, so.
Man, we appreciate you. We hope a lot of success for you, and keep being abstract, brother. People need that shit.
Thank you.
Neighborhood Watch presents For the Record. We live at Ill Remedy Studios. I was your host, Fresh Raheem. We got Roz on the ones and the twos. We got motherfucking Marty McFly on the camera. And we got this motherfucker ending us out, Monz Army.
Cries echo dead silence, once lost in dimensional frequency. Shambling scavengers of the damn running scrimmages. Scribbled in crippled images, coded in my cold dead pen, scorching in the end. Crow feet embedded over forehead, show a false flesh. A walk in my cold steps, bones rest. Has buried maintenance, I wasted them into a vacant state of what to make of this.